In this lesson, we'll discuss how to create and use IB outlets. In previous lessons, we've seen how we can create a connection from a UI component into our source code via this IB action. So in the case of the View List button or the iMusic button, we've established an action connection between our button and a particular method within our view controller. Now this works great when we want to make a connection of this type, but very often our view controller needs to know about components defined within our nib. And we can do that by using what's called an IB outlet. We define outlets in a manner similar to how we define the IB actions. For instance, if I wanted to create an outlet for my image view, I can hold down the Control key and click and drag, and I'll be presented with a connection pop-up. And for the connection type, I will choose Outlet. I'll give it a name and I'll call it Logo View. And its type is going to be a UI image view. We want the storage type to be weak. This is usually what we want when we're defining this connection between a view controller and a nib component. I'll click Connect, and let's just switch over to this in the standard editor so you can see it completely. So this created a standard property definition. Storage type is weak. It has this keyword IB outlet, the property type, and then the property name. So this now provides a reference to the UI image view. Let me go over to the view controller M, and just so we can see that this is hooked up, I'll just do a log statement. And I'll say self.logoView. So when I run the app on view did load, we can see that this image view is set correctly, and it's set to the live instance that's in the nib. So let's go back to our main view and do the same for our buttons. So hold down the Control key and select Outlet. I'll call this one View List button. Call this one About button. So we can see these three new properties, and I'll just delete this and just drop a breakpoint in here for right now. Run the app. So we can see our logo image view is correctly set, and we have a reference to our button items. Our view controller now has pointer references to the items defined within our nib. And this allows us to interact with the various components defined within this nib so that we can modify them at runtime or perform any further setup or configuration that might be needed. You now know how to use an IB outlet to make a reference from your view controller to a component within your nib file.